a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor want a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Put nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake.
What's poppin', Cersei Lannister? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I am here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Ready to Love Season 6, Episode 9 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. So tonight's episode begins with all of the couples gathering for their weekend getaway. LJ unfortunately can't make it because he had a work trip, and Tommy does not like that because he feels like he's not really committing himself to the process, and he finds that to be a red flag. So it is ladies week, and you know that means that they will be voting one of the guys off. So we then see Mike, Katie, and Kayla and Brandi on the couch sitting down talking. They're in this beautiful home. And Katie sitting there with a Kumo D hat on, starting shit as always, because she ain't got nothing else to do with her time. Instead of focusing on her and her situation, she want to start shit between other people because she is bored out of her fucking mind and just a messy ass person. So she was like, you know, like, what's going on with you guys or whatever? Because when I think of you guys, I think of Mike and Brandi as the married couple and Kayla as the hot person at the office that'll fuck on her boss or fuck on him or something. She's ignorant, she said. So Kayla was like, I'm the hot one at the office, but she's the one he would marry. Why? Because I'm hot. I guess for Brandi to be the wife means you're washed up and fat and your gut is hanging over. What? Like, where'd that come from? Unless they edited out a bunch of that conversation that we didn't get to see and Brandi was being rude to her, why are you coming from this girl and talking about her body? Like, just because Katie said that she sees her as his wife, like wifey material, and you just basically the hoe on the side. Like, you should have been coming at Katie, and if anything, why are you talking about Brandi and making comments about her? Brandi is a really pretty woman, and your big ass sitting up there looking like Booker T, bitch, looking like you wrestle in AEW, and your fucked up edges and them fucked up wigs, girl. Like, you alright looking, don't get me wrong, you got a cute shape, but if you didn't have that shape, nigga, you would literally be out here looking like a fuck nigga. Like, girl, sit down somewhere. We're not about to play them type of games. No, we're not, because you could easily be red. You can't dress, your hair always look a mess, you always pressed over a nigga that ain't pressed and worried about you. Girl, sit down somewhere. And Katie irks my fucking nerves, that bitch. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ooh. So Katie continues on pressing the matter. Sometimes she want to get down to the nitty gritty of things. Get down to the nitty gritty of that hat on your head. Why? Why is it there? So Katie asks Mike and Kayla what they have in common, and he was like, I don't think I gave it the opportunity to really see. I mean, we've already concluded that this nigga got a fucking wandering eye, so of course he ain't seeing shit. He don't know which way is left and right, so that's first of all. And so Kayla was like, you know, he's being evasive. That's not the full truth. I feel like if it was just me and him, he'll say what it is, but basically since Brandi's sitting here, he's not going to really answer the question in full honesty. And so Brandi was like, you know, well, what we're not going to do on this trip is do the alone thing anymore. You know, the one-on-ones, because we at the point of this process where everything needs to be put out on the table. And she was like, so if you feel a type of way about somebody, you need to let them know. So if he don't have nothing to say, you need to read the room, obviously. If he can't say what y'all got in common after all this time, that's letting you know something. If he can only tell you certain shit when I'm not around, that's saying something, because he ain't never missed his words about how he felt about Brandi in front of you. Oh, okay. So Kayla was like, you know, I just personally don't think he ready. And Katie was like, ready to love. She was like, nah, just ready to be honest. So you know what, I'm good. And in her confessional, they showed her saying she ain't got time for her buffoonery. And I hope she was talking about Katie and not Brandi. Because it seemed like you're always second choice. You're always second best, ma'am. None of these niggas have made you the one. So that's obviously telling you something. Because A, the whole experience you've been worried about the bitch that's obviously in the number one spot and not worrying about yourself. You always bringing up the other bitch when you with the nigga. Like, girl, get somewhere and sit down. Like, she lost me on tonight's episode. I already been tolerating her this whole goddamn season. But she tried it tonight, honey. So everybody's getting settled into the house, and we see Jamala and Randall in the room, and they're talking. And she was like, have you seen Kayla's room? And he was like, no. Should I go and check it out? And she was like, I don't know. Should you? Is that what you want to do? And just the way that conversation rolled out, it was awkward as hell. Awkward as hell, because he made that statement like, you hyping up her room like I should go see it. And then when he said, should I go see it? She taking it as, is that you basically trying to put it out there that you want to go see her room? Like, it's just one big ass mind fuck and misinterpretation of what each of them are saying. And he becomes annoyed because he feel like basically she on his body and trying to police him and is getting on his nerves. And so they go out on the balcony, and she was like, you know, I think you'll choose where you want to be. It's like she pitching her flag in the soil at this point. Like, you mine, nigga. I don't know what you want, but we solidifying this shit this weekend. Like, I'm tired of playing games with you. And at this point, Randall does need to make a decision between these ladies. Like, we at the end now, nigga. Like, you need to make a decision. And I don't even see why they like this nigga. Like, he looked like Gumby, but all right, I guess. Let me shut up. So Brandi and Samson are having a one-on-one, and they're talking, and you know, they got chemistry or whatever, but the conversation between them is very much forced. She asks him a question, he answers it, and then it's quiet all over again. And he even realizes that, you know, they have chemistry, but there's not a spark there. His connection with Charisse is way stronger. So at this point, they just need to leave that shit alone and just be friends. Then we see Randall and Tranika on the couch talking, and he admits to her that he hasn't spent a lot of time with her to really sit down and like get to know her. He's put a lot of his time and energy into Jamala and then Kayla, and then it seems like Tranika has come third, but he has a connection with all of these women. And they sit down and they talk, and she talks about her past and her childhood, and he loves the fact that every time he speaks to her, he learns something new about her. And in that conversation, and he really got to see her in a different light, and their connection grew from that one conversation. They were very affectionate towards each other. He seemed very comfortable with her. It wasn't a bunch of pressure there. It just flowed. So now his feelings have grown for her. So he's even more fucked now. So a few of the people are at the hot tub, and Randall is out there and Kayla is out there. Jamala comes out, and she's annoyed because she says in her confessional that every time she try to have a moment with Randall, is somebody always hanging off of him, i.e. Tranika or Kayla. This time it's Kayla. Kayla is, you know, rubbing all on him, leaning on him, resting her head on his shoulder. She don't like it because he not, you know, making her move or nothing like that. And I can understand her feelings. Like, nobody wants to witness that when they like somebody. Nobody wants to, you know, see that. But at the same token, you're not his woman. He has not chosen any of you. He's still in the dating process. So you've seen that, you've known that, and you've invested everything in him up until this point. So at this point, instead of waiting on him to make a decision, you need to make a decision for yourself. I like you. It's obvious you like me, but you like these other women. I'm not going to continue to stand by and wait for you to decide which one of us you like. So I'm going to gracefully bow out and focus my attention elsewhere. And if you decide this is where you want to be and I'm still available, then we will see. Point blank and the period. That's what she should have done. But like most times, we as women wait on the guy to pick us or make the decision. No, we too old for that. You make the damn decision. No. So Randall in his confessional says that he feels the pressure that Kayla putting on him, like with being all touchy-feely and staking her claim. And he basically says that she and Jamala are like alpha women. Like they're both trying to plant the flag with him. And you're making the tension even worse when you see this and you're not doing anything about it. You need to step up as a man and make the decision. Put them out of their damn misery. So, they end up going inside. What's his name? Randall and Kayla. They end up going inside. She's still at the hot tub. So, she feeling disrespected at this point. Like, I don't know what she thinking, what she had been thinking, but apparently, I guess she's supposed to be like number one on his list, but at the same time, he hadn't chosen her. So everybody else decided to go back inside the house. They go back inside the house to start preparing for dinner or whatever, and she can't find them. So she goes to look to see where they're at, and she hears them in his room. So the camera is in there, of course. The door is open. Obviously, nothing salacious is going on, but she goes into the room and was like, oh, excuse me. And it was like, let me get this, and grabs her hat and a few things out of the room and leaves out. And it immediately put him on pause and made him feel some type of way because he knew that she had an attitude. And Kayla, mind you, is laying on the bed. He was standing up, but Kayla is laying on his bed, and he was standing up when Jamala walked into the room, and there was a camera guy in the room as well. So like I said, he knew that she was mad, upset, trying to be funny when she grabbed some of her things out of his room. And first of all, you shouldn't even went looking for them. You shouldn't have went looking for them at all. That's no, you a grown ass woman. No, don't even play yourself like that. Don't even allow nobody else to know that you press like that. Like, absolutely not. So Kayla then gonna say, why the fuck was her stuff in here anyway? Girl, your manly ass. Oh, you sit down too. Both of you hoes is getting on my goddamn nerves. Jesus. So Randall didn't even answer her from what we saw. We then see LJ FaceTime Tranika while he at work, and he even admits that he puts work over love. Well, if that's the case, nigga, then why the fuck did you come? Why the fuck did you come on this show when you're steady doing the same shit that you was doing that landed you here? Get your big nose ass off my screen as well. Y'all all irk my soul. Then we see Samson and Sharice spending one-on-one time together. Their conversation is very forced. He tried to rub her feet to break the ice and talking about his corn and shit. Girl, why are you sitting up here talking to me about corn? Explain it to me. Why are we sitting here talking about corn? Sharice don't like that nigga. She don't like that nigga, and she tired of him not opening up and everything still being surface level. So at this point, I'm really thinking Samson going home tonight because his connection with Sharice and Brandi ain't hidden. So we then see Jamala go into Randall's room. He on the phone. He gets off the phone. She sits down, and she was like, I'm about to start cooking. Are you gonna come help? And he was like, I don't even really know, because he feeling some type of way. And she was like, what, you upset because I took my hat? He was like, yeah, because why you do that? Like, I know what you're thinking. Like, I know you. I know why you did that shit. And you can't control every situation. Like, you gotta, like, chill out is what he was basically telling her. And you're not giving her a reason, though, to chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? She has every right to feel the way that she feels. It's just the way that she handling herself like a little kid about it. And so Jamala was like, so while she's tickling your scrotum, and he was like, wait up, hold up. She was like, no, I'm speaking. Let me speak. She was like, you expect for me to sit there while she's all on you, and you expect for me to just be able to be okay with that? Stop pushing me to do stuff that's out my comfort zone and da-da-da-da-da. Like, all of that is warranted. You can feel that way, but the way she went about it was very look girlish. Very look girlish. So at this point, instead of arguing back and forth, it should have literally been, like I said, I'm going to remove myself from this situation because I value myself too much to be sitting around waiting on a man to choose me. Point blank and the period. I'm going to choose my goddamn self, sir. Either catch up or skedaddle. So everybody's preparing dinner, and Swayze makes a joke about how he feels like he's going to be the one sent home that night because he only has one connection, and that's Katie. So he feels like the ladies are going to vote him out or whatever. But of course, she doesn't want him to be out of the competition or whatever. And I would think that if he did get voted out, that she herself would leave as well. So they're sitting down for dinner, and the question is posed by Samson, I believe, on how they all got here, how they all came to be on this show, what led them there. And Tranika tells her story about how, she had been single for so long and she cried for like 3 months straight, and, she did the work on herself. And her story really affects Randall. Like, Randall seems like he is really falling for this girl all of a sudden, and it's like he's seeing her like for real for the first time. And Jamala was like, I mean, Randall was crying over your story. You could tell like she was trying to make it a joke, but she really felt some type of way about that shit, even after their conversation, because they didn't even sit next to each other at the dinner table. So after dinner, Randall talks to Mike, and he says that he realizes for the first time just how fragile Jamala is, how she has this tough exterior, but she's really very fragile on the inside. And he was like, you just not seeing that? Like, I've been saw that. Like, I don't know where you been. And Mike was like, men need to learn how to reassure their women. And Randall admits that his communication needs work. Like, he hasn't reassured her. He has kind of just left her out there to come up with her own conclusions on things. And that goes back to everything that I said prior. He needs to say what it is. So everybody after that is preparing for bed, and Mike and Brandi go into the same room together. Hopefully he banged that thing on out. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the episode, it's time to eliminate someone, and the ladies have decided that Samson and Swayze will be in the bottom. But instead of the ladies being able to choose who goes home, Tommy throws a curveball and says that he'll be the one to decide. And it's pretty much expected that he's going to keep both men and end up eliminating LJ, since LJ did not come to the guys. I mean, to the, getaway little vacation, because he's tired of people not showing up. So that's obviously what's going to happen next week, which I think is a great decision. Overall, I'll give tonight's episode of Ready to Love a C plus. C plus. That's what I'm gonna give tonight's episode. Let me know what you guys thought about it down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.